I saw this headline earlier today about Alex Jones calling Michelle Obama the first tranny. And at first I ignored it because he says so many ridiculous things that I thought, well, look, I could probably pick out like 400 things from just his show yesterday that was worse and more insane. Like, oh, the CIA works for the ISIS or something. I mean, he said everything, right? But I decided real quick, well, let me just read some lines of the story and see. They have a clip. I'll play the clip for a second. It wasn't what I thought it was. I expected him to just say in the middle of a rant, like, and I think Michelle Obama, the first tranny, like joking around or whatever, being an asshole. No. The dude did a 10-minute segment on just Michelle Obama being a man.
Well, you never know what to expect on the Alex Jones Show, and this morning the topic came up that Michelle Obama might be a man. I know that might sound ridiculous, but is it? After all, there are many questions surrounding the president's past, and now people are starting to question the sexual orientation of the First Lady. Alex Jones has a special report on that from our new television studio in Austin, Texas. But first, here's what Joan Rivers had to say to kick the controversy into the mainstream.
You know Michelle is a
I'm sorry, she's a what?
A transgender. We all know.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, Joan Rivers talked about it in the last few days, and it's a big international news story. The question is, who is Michelle Obama? Is she really a woman? Is she a man? Especially when every time I look at Michelle or Michael Obama, the first lady or the first tranny, every time I look at them, something doesn't look right. She doesn't look like any black woman or any woman I've ever known. She's got shoulders that are wider than a man's, which physiologically doesn't happen. Again, you can put 3 heads on a man's shoulders and only 2 heads on a woman's shoulders. That's a known anatomy. And then women generally have wider hips than men do. And you look at her arms and the rest of it, when she's standing straight on, she looks like no woman I have ever seen, except for people who have had different chromosomal disorders who choose to be a woman. And I've got the statistics and the numbers right here in front of me. We're seeing more and more of these chromosomal disorders because of all the toxic waste and GMO that's been introduced. One of them is the Klinefelter syndrome, or the double XY, where you basically are part female, part male, and then generally around puberty or even younger, the person needs to choose who they're going to be. And when you look at other people who have been reported, like Olympic runners and others, to perhaps having this disorder, they look just like Michelle Obama.
No, they don't, Alex. No, they don't. Look, I'm caught on this story. Half of me wants to laugh. The other half of me, and I never play this card, man. I'm one of those guys, I have the thickest skin in the world. You should see the hate mail I get. I get death threats, okay? So I have a thick skin, but when I'm listening to this, I'm offended. I'm offended. And I've heard it all. I cover politics and news for a living, but I hear this and I go, dude, you're going way too far. What does this have to do with anything, okay? What does it have to do with anything? Even if he's right, which he's not. He's nowhere near right, no, and not even close. He's making it up. He doesn't even present an argument. He's not saying, well, here's why we think it. Boom, 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 boom. No, he's just like, I don't know. I think she is. She looks like it. That's it. That's my whole evidence. And let me tell you the name of the disorders here. But wait. But why are you talking about it? What does that have to do with anything, anybody, anywhere? That's just somebody's personal business that you're making stuff up and doing libel and slander. Like, this is an example where he could legit get sued for libel or slander, right? I mean, you're not basing this on anything, dude. You're talking out of your ass. You looked up the name of disorders. It's a 10-minute segment. And I love how fake Infowars is, man. He had a guy, I love the newscaster at the beginning who sets it up. like they're ABC News or something. Like he's trying to lend legitimacy to it by adding some fake douchebag at the beginning. And you never know what Alex is going to say. He signs my paycheck, so I like whatever he says. Anyway, let's throw it over to him. First, Joan Rivers. Joan Rivers is joking. She's a comedian. He's taking it seriously. Well, her shoulders are wider than a man's. That doesn't happen. That doesn't happen physiologically. It just doesn't happen. Really, that doesn't happen. I understand that statistically, most of the time, sure, men have wider shoulders than women's, of course. No doubt. But what do you mean that doesn't happen? What does that mean? Oh, it doesn't happen. Ever? Ever. All men that have ever been born in the history of the world, ever, always, 100% of the time, have wider shoulders than women. But that's not true. But see, this is what I mean, man. Alex Jones, he's just a bomb thrower. He's just trying to get attention. Look at me. Everything is a conspiracy. The CIA created Boko Haram. The CIA created ISIS and Al-Qaeda, and the NWO is going to take us over, and Agenda 21 is going to ban golf courses and take away your car and shove you in a hobbit home, even though I've been saying this since the early 1990s, and Agenda 21 is a non-binding UN agreement that was signed in 1992, and over 20 years later, they still haven't done shit, but I'm going to come out here and scream about it on a daily basis, and a bunch of idiots are going to believe me. And then on top of that, what does he do? I don't know if you saw his show recently. We did a story about this, a segment about this on a show not too long ago. He's selling magic potion now. I'm not kidding. He's selling potion. He's selling like little bottles of fucking, homeopathic water, just diluted shit, right? Probably there's nothing in it. Right? He's like, well, if you take this, it'll make you feel super feminine something, super masculine something. He has bullshit people call up. I started taking the super feminine yada yada, and I'm feeling great. And he's like, oh, yeah, I take it too. It's fantastic. You can buy the iodine stuff too, because then if there's a nuclear something, you'll survive. And buy these survival seeds. Dude, you are the scam artist. He acts like everybody's a scam artist. The Obamas are lying about everything. Michelle is a man. I know she's lying about it. Why? Because I think she kind of looks like one. I don't have any evidence for her. I'm just going to say it. But she's like a man. No. They're not scamming. I got plenty of problems with the government. I cover them on a daily basis. NSA spies too much. Guantanamo Bay is still open. We do wars for no fucking reason, right? I understand all that. But you're the real scam artist, okay? We can talk about policy and substance and not, make up shit like you do, right? And we can also talk about the issues, and when we criticize people, make it a legitimate criticism. You just said the First Lady is a man. Calm yourself. You did a 10-minute segment about the First Lady's genitals. What is wrong with you? There's not even a theoretical reason. Even if I'm as kind to you as I could possibly be, there's not even a theoretical reason why this is a discussion worth having and why you should bring it up. Okay? And then, look, I could go on and on, but I'm just going to cut it off real quick here in a second. But he goes on in that clip to say, we have evidence that frogs are turning into hermaphrodites, and a lot of gay people are turning gay because blah, 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 blah. And he brings up... and you actually heard him say, this is happening a lot more now because the toxicity and because GMOs. You did a segment about how you think the First Lady is a man because of GMOs. When Alex Jones talks, scientists want to commit suicide.